In this video, I'm going to show you how to recreate this owl graphic here, which is only using basic shapes. If we look at our layer panel, we can see that this graphic is currently locked, and the reason for that is because we don't want it to move. We just want to keep it there. We're going to be working in layer 2, and we're going to start creating. So believe it or not, I'm going to zoom in. This shape right here is using the rectangle tool. Okay, so I'm just going to draw the rectangle tool roughly the same height and width as this. You can always fix it, right? Also notice that there's these little circles within. So if you hover over these, do you notice that in the cursor, there's like this little curved line underneath, which means that these corners will curve. So I'm going to select one, and you can see that it's darker when you select it. And if I want to select multiple circles here, hold down your Shift key and click again. Okay, so now that I have both, now I can click and drag downwards all the way on the circles. Now, if you look at this graphic, this side is straight down, so it's not curved. It's only this side here. So we're going to just click and drag this all the way as far as you can go. Okay. Now take a look at the graphic. Notice that this particular shape that we just created is actually in two other different areas as well. So what I would do, just so you don't have to do those steps again, is take that graphic and hold the Option or Alt key on the PC and drag. So you're making a copy. Now I want you to notice something. Before I do anything, I'm going to deselect. In your Properties panel, you should see at the bottom in Preferences an area that says Scale Corners. This should have a check mark in it. If this is empty, then please put a check mark in it because you won't be able to scale this down, okay? So just make sure that that's that. And I'm going to hold down the Shift key to keep it in proportion. And then once I have the one, I'm going to bring it over. And then once again, holding down the Option key, I'm going to drag this out. And now to flip it over like a mirror, what I would do is there's multiple ways of doing this. You can already see at the top right of your Properties panel, you have right here, flip horizontal, flip vertical, or you can go to right click and transform and reflect. Okay, so that's two places. Now I'm just going to bring this over a little bit. So I'm going to start with the easy parts here. I'm going to go into my ellipse and create just a larger in the stroke. I'm just going to remove. This might be a little too big, so I'm just going to make it a little slightly smaller. There we go. Just make sure you hold the Shift key and then bring this into the center of the eye here. So I'm going to grab the larger circle that's here, zoom in, hold down the Option key and make a copy of that. And then I'm going to make another copy and bring it up here. I'm just going to, for now, change the color to a completely different color so you can kind of see the shape that the moon is going to be. So it's kind of like this, right? So it's not too thin and it's like in the middle. It's not too thick either. 1 and 2. And I'm going to use the Shape Builder tool. Take that tool. And as you can see, when you hover, I'm not even clicking, you can see that it kind of grays out the areas, right? So if you do not want something, the plus sign right now is showing, which means it will add to your shape that you're trying to create. And I don't want to add, I want to remove. So if you hold down the Option key or the Alt key on the PC and click, it removes that area. Once again, hold down the Option key. Make sure you see the minus sign and click. And now this is a new shape that you created. Next, we are going to change this to black now. Take my selection tool or click on the shortcut V. And here is where I can't really see it, but thankfully to the smart guides that are on, they tell me that this is the center point and this is where it intersects. So whenever you see that, you can click. Also, another way that's helpful is changing your view. So if you go into outline view, you can also see where the center point is, and that's where you want it to intersect. So now what you need to do, once again, to use Shapebuilder, select the other object, and you want to remove this area here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take Shapebuilder once again, and once again, we want to remove, we don't want to add, so hold down Option and click. The last thing that we're going to do is going to add the sky behind it. We're going to add a basic shape, the rectangle tool. And if I want the same, roughly the same color as that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on this swatch. And you see the color pickers here, which allows you to click on any color that I want to. And then I'm going to click and drag. So right now we're working, remember in the layer panel, we're working in one layer. So what I'm going to do is, because we're working at all of this is in layer 2, I could always right click and bring this to the back. So arrange and send to back. And that is it.